Okay, so let's unpack this. The JavaScript ecosystem, it just keeps moving, doesn't it? Always evolving.
Relentlessly.
And today, we're diving into something really fascinating, this whole trend of getting free from being logged into just one framework or one runtime.
Yeah, building with more freedom, more agility.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Our mission here in this deep dive is really to explore how the latest tools and this clever idea, the adapter pattern, are helping developers get, well, incredible flexibility.
Flexibility is key.
It is. And it's not just about swapping tech easily. It's about future-proofing your work, your projects. So you can move between, say, React, Vue, Svelte, Angular on the front end.
Or Node.js, Bun on the back end.
Right. Without tearing everything down and starting over, you're building for platforms, plural, not just on one.
So how are developers actually doing this, getting that freedom? Let's maybe start with the back end. Runtime agnosticism seems like a big piece.
Definitely. And a prime example there is Hono. It's built as an ultrafast web framework, and crucially, it's built on web standards APIs.
Web standards APIs.
Yeah.
Right. What does that mean in practice?
Well, basically, these are the common fundamental building blocks of the web itself. So Hono isn't tied to, say, Node.js specific features. Which means it runs almost anywhere JavaScript runs. Cloudflare workers, Dino, Bun, Node.js, you name it.
Wow, that's real portability across different environments.
It's incredibly liberating, yeah. And it even helps, smooth things out between backend and frontend because you can share API types easily. It makes full stack feel more joined up.
That sounds incredibly useful. Now, speaking of universal, what about making sure the whole app, server included, can deploy anywhere?
Right. That's where something like Nitro comes in. Think of it as taking universality up a notch. It's an open source framework, and the whole job is to automatically make your server code compatible with pretty much any deployment provider or runtime.
Automatically. How does that work?
Well, you write your server logic, and Nitro kind of handles the translation needed for serverless or Docker or just a plain Node server.
So write once, deploy anywhere, basically.
That's the goal. It can be a standalone server, or it can power frameworks like Nuxt. Huge versatility without the usual deployment headaches.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, shifting gears slightly. Server-side rendering, SSR. Especially with Vite, seems like there are different ways people are tackling this agnosticism idea.
Oh yeah, definitely different philosophies. You've got tools like SSRX, Vinxi, and Vike, each with a slightly different angle.
Let's break those down. What's the deal with SSRX?
SSRX is maybe the simpler one. It focuses a lot on just making the developer experience smoother. Its main thing is being server agnostic, meaning you can plug it into basically any HTTP framework you want, like Hono, for example.
Yeah.
Maximum flexibility. It tries to stay out of your way.
Gotcha. But Vinxi, that one's coupled to H3 and Nitro, right? How's that agnostic? Seems a bit counterintuitive.
It does sound that way at first, yeah. But the argument from Vinxi's author is that this coupling actually creates a stable standard server runtime.
A stable standard.
Yeah, so instead of complete freedom like SSRX, it provides this consistent base built on H3 and Nitro, which are themselves pretty low level and versatile.
And the benefit of that consistency is?
The idea is it makes it easier to build shared libraries for common things like sessions, auth, that kind of stuff that work reliably across different platforms and even different front-end frameworks using Vinxi. So it fosters versatility through standardization in a way.
Interesting take. And Vike, where does it sit?
Vike is kind of the more full-featured option of the bunch. The big difference is it comes with its own integrated client router.
Ah, okay. So it's more of an all-in-one solution.
Sort of. So choosing between, say, Vinxi or SSRX on one hand and Vike on the other often boils down to, do you want the built-in router or do you prefer bringing your own, like, TAN-stack row?
Right. Depends on your project needs and preferences.
Yeah.
But okay, let's get back to this adapter pattern you mentioned. This feels like where things get really interesting, especially looking at libraries like TAN-stack query.
Oh, absolutely. TAN-stack query is, like, a poster child for this pattern. It does asynchronous state management, fetching data, caching, all that good stuff.
And it works everywhere.
Pretty much across React, Solid, Vue, Svelte, Angular. And it doesn't care what your backend is, but the magic is the adapters.
Explain the adapters. How do they work?
Okay, so the core logic of TAN-stack query is framework agnostic. But then it uses these small adapter layers to plug into the specific features of each framework.
Like what? Give me an example.
Sure. So like TAN-stack store, which is related, can use an adapter for Angular that leverages Angular signals for its reactivity.
Ah, So it uses the framework's own native tools where it makes sense.
Exactly. You get the benefit of the framework's specific optimizations or patterns, but your core state management code, it stays the same.
Which means you could actually switch front-end frameworks, maybe from React to Vue or Angular, with potentially minimal changes to all that data fetching and state logic.
That's the promise, yeah. Imagine the time saved, the reduction in effort when migrating or just experimenting. It really changes how you think about building things.
It feels fundamental, like a really big shift.
It is. This whole trend towards framework and runtime freedom really pushed forward by these adaptable tools and this adapter pattern. It lets developers build apps that are just more resilient, more flexible.
Less vendor lock-in, more future-proofing.
Precisely. Your code base lasts longer, your skills are more transferable. It's a win-win.
So wrapping this up, what does this all really mean for the future? Are we seeing the end of the big monolithic frameworks dictating everything? Is this the start of a truly modular mix-and-match web dev world?
It certainly feels like a strong push in that direction. More power, more choice back in the hands of the developer.
A landscape where the tools adapt to you, not the other way around. Makes you wonder, is this how we unlock even more creativity and speed in JavaScript? Something to think about.